Hey friends, welcome to your week 25 foundations class. You'll need the usual props today: a block, a pillow or a blanket, a band, and a bigger, squishier ball of some sort. I think that's everything, but if I forget, just pause the video and grab whatever else you need. And then we're gonna get started with our release work today, which will be our side waists and obliques. So for this one, a bigger, squishier ball will be good. I have this fancy myofascial one, but honestly, these little guys work great as well, little kid play ball. All right, and then we're gonna get started laying on our right side. Place the ball at the crook of your waist. And feel free to deflate the ball if it is a little bit too firm. So left knee is stacking on top of right. Our knees are bent, and then we're propping down on our right elbow. And start with the ball right on the midline. Take some big breaths. As you inhale, try to expand into the ball. And if this doesn't feel like enough kind of pressure, then drop down and rest your head on your hand. You could always place a block or a pillow in between your knees if your pelvis is at all uncomfortable here. So your breath goes down, obviously into the belly and back body, but think about expanding through the sides of the ribs and the back of the sports bra. Option now to kind of roll so the ball is more on the back. It's still on the right side, but we're just biasing a little bit posteriorly. So our chest will therefore turn upwards towards the ceiling a little bit. And same thing, big breaths here. Feel free to move the ball down a little bit lower or up a little bit higher. And let your skin really sink into it, your muscles really sink into it. So try to release any tension, unnecessary tension you're holding in the sides of the waists. It's great with these classes that we're keeping our obliques strong, but we also want to make sure they can move. This will help with breath as well. Good. Now option, if you want to do the opposite, we're gonna bias the ball a little bit towards our belly, whatever is comfortable for you at this stage, and then turning our chest down a little bit. So I have mine kind of right in this area. Baby still has plenty of room. And this is a nice, soft, squishy ball anyways. So we're on the inside of our right waist. You might prop on both elbows now and rest your head down. Breathe up under the rib cage. Let the ball massage under the rib cage. Good. Lift back up, and then just for a couple breaths, we're going to wiggle side to side and up and down. Loosen anything up that you feel like you need to. Good. And then come back through center. Take a breath. Notice right versus left with your breath first. So maybe more expansion along the right side, and then feel it with your hands too. Maybe you notice one side is tighter or looser than the other. And then we're gonna switch them out. I will turn and face the other way so you can see what it looks like from that direction. Starting with the ball right at the midline of the left waist. Right knee is stacked on top of left, both knees are bent. And then we can start by propping on the left elbow, or if right away you want to lower down so your head is supported in your hand, that's totally fine. Several big breaths here. And remember to let your body really weigh down heavy into the ball. And then the breath expands so that you find some resistance into the ball. Good. Option now to bias towards the back of the left waist and turning chest up a little bit towards the sky. Wiggle around how you need and then breathe into the left kidney area. Two more cycles. Good, and then option to turn your chest down and bring the ball to the left inside of your waist. Maybe you prop up on the right elbow as well. You could rest your forehead down. Release any unnecessary tension. Breathe into the ball. Let it be a little massage. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last few moments here to come back upright a little bit and then just shimmy side to side or up and down or in little circles, whatever movement that feels good with the ball there. All right, and then lift back to center. And have a seat and just take another breath. Maybe you feel some nice expansion through the side bodies on both sides and that it's a little bit more supple in your hands instead of super tight. All right, go ahead and stand at the wall. So back is up against the wall. We're gonna do some rib shifts side to side. So equal weight through both feet. You feel your glutes or your pelvis on the wall. And the pelvis doesn't change positions. We're gonna stretch our arms out to the side, pinkies are on the wall, palms are facing down. And then from here, we're shifting just our rib cage over to the right and then over to the left. Okay, try to have your pelvis stay right where it is. So it's your shoulders shifting and your hips staying stationary. Sliding to the right, and sliding over to the left. Equal weight through both feet. Keep going side to side here. So if this is your rib cage and this is your pelvis, only the top hand is moving. Okay, next time you shift over to the right, take a big breath in. Exhale through center over to the left, pause here, take a big breath in. Good, over to the right and breathe in at your end range of motion. Over to the left, pause, big breath in. This feels really, really good. I kind of had a few cracks and pops when I first did it this morning. And it's good to move through the rib cage and the thoracic spine. So keep going for a few more moments. You can just do side to side or you can take that big pause breath. Ground down through both heels. A couple more wiggles side to side. Again, feel the sides of the waist and the back of the kidney area loosening up. Check your form, maybe place your hands on your pelvis for the last couple, just to make sure that it's the rib cage moving. Good, last one over to the right. And then last one over to the left. All right, take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Let that feel really good. All right, we're gonna move on to our core exercise. Grab a band, a stretchy band. You could use a TheraBand or a longer, skinnier exercise band and secure it to something sturdy. I'm gonna try the desk today. If it doesn't work, we'll move to the door. All right, we're gonna lay on our backs. And the band is going to be coming from the left side, okay? So sit back onto your heels. I'm gonna angle my mat. All right. So the resistance is coming from the left. Hold the band in your left hand and then right hand can wrap around. From here, knees are bent, pointing up towards the sky. We're gonna bridge by pushing through our feet. Keep a tiny lengthening of your tailbone down. So we don't wanna uber arch and we don't wanna clench and tuck. It's a fairly neutral pelvis. Of course, we have a little bit of sway in our low back. All right, so we bridge up. Good, now from here, hands can stay at heart center or you could extend them up by straightening your elbows. Take a big breath in to the rib cage. Exhale, core is engaged. So we manage that pressure from the bottom up, from the pelvic floor, the lower abs, pretending we could draw our hip bones in towards each other. And then the middle of the waist draws in, and then the ribs draw in and together. So it's that corset muscle. Okay, and from here, we're gonna march one knee up at a time. Or if that's way too much, you could just hold. Okay, breathe with whatever feels natural for you. If you can maintain that good core contraction as you breathe under a brace, that's great. If you need, it's also a good idea to inhale and reset and let go. And then exhale, contract, pull that corset muscle in, do a couple reps. Inhale to release and reset and let go. So totally fine if you just hold the exhale for 2 marches or so. Feel free to take an inhale to let go. Big breath into the rib cage. Exhale, bridge up, glutes lift, core is on, ribs and hips moving towards each other. Arms up to the sky, and then we march one knee up at a time. This is a lot going on in this exercise, but it's a really good one, especially with that resistance coming from the side. Everything is turned on to keep you stable. Good. Release. And then we'll do one more round. So big breath in, big breath out, contract, lift, arms up, march your knees. This is also great for single leg stability, pelvic stability. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Release down. Take a big breath. Exhale, let it go. We're going to switch sides. So now the band is coming from the right. So move around however you need. Alrighty. So ideally, the band would come directly at a 90-degree angle. This room is positioned a little differently, and I hope you can see me still. But ideally, I would be, let's see, kind of right here. All right. Band from the right, hold it in your right hand. Left hand can interlace. The closer you are to the anchor point, the less resistance you have, the further away, the harder this is going to be. So take a breath to prepare. Find that even, fairly neutral pelvis. And then exhale, push through your heels, bridge up, hands at heart, or extending up to the sky. And then we march. Again, option to breathe under the brace and keep going with your repetitions. Or you could inhale to let your glutes go, breathe into the rib cage, and then on the exhale, it's that controlling of the pressure from the bottom up, so we're avoiding any lower belly pooching, drawing our rib points together, our waist in, and our ribs in, okay? So inhale here, exhale, press and lift. Maybe you just do 1 or 2 reps at a time, and then reset after each one, totally fine. Good, inhale to release. Exhale, pull it all in. Contract, lift, extend, and march. Or if you want to take the marching out and just hold, that is amazing as well. We're going to take one more round together. Inhale for a little reset. Exhale, core is on, glutes are on, lift and march. Face and neck are soft. One more on each leg. Good, release down. All right. Move back to center however you need. Or if you're in a good spot, just stay there because we're going to stay on our backs. Next is our pelvic floor exercise. We're going to do, it's called a synchronized glute max. So lay on your back again, if that's okay with your body, which research shows as long as you feel okay, doing short bouts of exercise on your back is no big deal. Just keep an eye out for any funky symptoms. All right, lay down. Bring your feet hip width distance or a little bit wider. Keep grounded through the heels and the big toes. Let's have kind of robot arms. So our elbows are bent at our sides, our palms are facing each other, hands are open, fingertips pointing up to the sky. And from here, we're just simply going to, on an inhale, open our hands and our knees out to the side. Breathe down into the pelvic floor. On an exhale, gently close everything back in. Okay, try to keep big toes grounded. Inhale, open knees and hands, breathe into the pelvic floor. Exhale, close back in. Simple, slow, full breathing. Let the air descend all the way down to the pelvic floor. Find some softening and release there. Inhale to open, find some space. Exhale, and gently come back to center. Now it's great to stay here. If you don't have excessive pelvic floor tightness, you could add a Kegel or a pelvic floor contraction as you come back in. So toes are grounded. Inhale, we open up and relax. Exhale, maybe contract your pelvic floor, pick up the blueberry, close the holes, whatever visualization helps you. Contract your pelvic floor. Inhale to open. Release the contraction. Exhale, squeeze back through center. In this exercise, it's way more important to do the opening and releasing. So if you have to pick just one to focus on, choose that. All right, 5 more cycles. 2 more breaths. Last inhale to release. Exhale, maybe contract and pull back in. Good. All right, roll to one side. Sit on up. And we have 2 more exercises, our pelvic hip one and then a functional standing one. And we're gonna need a block for these. So find your prop. We're gonna come to the wall and lay, let's start on our left side. Left foot is planted against the wall. Left knee is bent to 90 degrees. The block is going to come about a foot behind the left foot. Okay, and your right knee is going to go on top of this block. Your torso is pointing out perpendicular from the wall. If you need, find a little pillow or towel roll to rest your head on. All right, so lay onto your left side. Left shoulder down. Left foot pressing into the wall. Right knee on that block, okay? And from here, we're gonna push our right knee down and then lift our right pinky toe up to the sky. So going into active internal rotation. Before you do that, check in with the pelvis. Find a little lift of the left obliques. So a critter, a mouse could crawl underneath your left waist. Okay, so we're finding a nice stacking of the spine and pelvis and shoulders, even in this side lying position. If the block feels super far away, you could lift it up to its medium height or its highest height. All right, so big breath in, find that stacking of the spine and pelvis. And then on an exhale, push your right knee down and then lift your right pinky toe up towards the sky. You might feel a cramping on the outside of the right hip. We're working these muscles we don't work a ton. Inhale to lower your toes back down. Exhale, push knee down. Lift pinky toes up towards the sky. Inhale to release. Exhale, waist is lifted, knee is pushing, toes slide up the wall. Inhale back down. Exhale, find your posture, push down, toes slide. Good, 5 more reps. Check in, make sure left foot is firmly planted on the wall. We're not dumping our belly forward. So if you need, think about lengthening tailbone a little bit down between your knees. Let's go 3 more breaths. Outer hip is cramping, totally normal. Push down through right knee, slide your big toe up the wall. Last one. Good. Gently roll to the other side. So now we're on our right side. Our torso is pointing out perpendicularly from the wall. Right knee is the bottom knee and it's bent and your foot is on the wall. The block is about a foot behind your right foot and your left knee is grounded down there. So when I'm talking about our waist, pretend I'm laying on my side. So instead of arching through low back, letting our belly dump forward, letting our waist hit the floor, we're gonna find a lifting of the obliques. So we have that little notch in our right side waist, and then our shoulders and spine and pelvis are nicely stacked here. All right, laying on our right side, right foot pushes into the wall, left knee is on the block. We breathe in. Breathe out, slide your left big toe up the wall. Pinky toe leads the way. Inhale, slide back down, reset, breath into the rib cage. Back of the sports bra, exhale. Find that little core contraction. Push knee down and lift toes up. Inhale, release. Exhale, right foot presses, left knee presses, toes slide up. Left outer hip might be cramping, totally normal. Keep going with your breath. This is number 4, we're gonna do 10. Check in, make sure left hip, pelvis is stacked directly over right. Maybe your left hand comes to the low back. Feel into your paraspinals, the muscles along your spine, and just soften there briefly. All right, inhale. Exhale, lift right sideways, push left knee down, slide your toe up. We have, I think, 5 more. Slow and controlled, try to get to that end range of motion. Inhale, release. Exhale, right foot presses, left knee presses, lift up through your toes. Last inhale. Exhale, best rep yet. Turn everything on, internal rotation. Good. Release. You will still need your towel or blanket and your block. And we're gonna come to standing. Our standing functional exercise today is a heel elevated narrow squat. A lot of times, especially with birthing prep, we say, you know, wide pelvis, feet out wide. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Step your heels onto your towel or blanket or whatever little tiny elevated surface you have. Block is going in between our thighs here, okay? Now you could even bring your feet out wider than your knees. Did I say that right? Yes, okay. So this is biasing that internal rotation we just worked on. But if you want, keep everything in one line. Okay, we're gonna inhale to find our posture. Exhale, core, pelvic floor is on. We squeeze the block, squat all the way down and all the way back up in one breath. Inhale to reset. Exhale, hip points are pulling in, pressure is managed from the bottom up. We squat down as we squeeze the block and squat back up. Good, inhale, release. Exhale, full rep. Good, let's do 8 like this. Squeeze, squat down on the exhale. Drive back up. 4 more. Hands can go in front of you like I'm doing for counterbalance, or they can stay at heart center. Last one here, inhale to reset. Exhale, engage, squeeze, squat down, and back up. Okay, so if that felt okay, and if you feel in control of your breath and your pelvic floor, we're gonna do an inhale on the way down and an exhale on the way up. Okay, so find your posture, shoulders are rolling back. Make sure we're not arching and dumping the belly forward. Ribs are lined up over hips, okay? From here, inhale down. Down into the pelvic floor, down as you squat into your depth. And exhale, we drive through the heels back up. Inhale, squeeze, squat down. Exhale, drive back up. We'll do 8 like this, 6 more. You can always stay with that first option. Inhale reaches its way to your back pockets. 3 more, removing with our breath. Inhale, squeeze and lower. Exhale, lift, drive back up. Last one, best form, slow and controlled. And then even weight through both feet. Good. Release your block.
have a seat or keep standing, whatever's comfortable for you.
That is our foundations class. We covered the wide range of things. Hopefully your breath feels good, your core feels engaged, pelvic floor is happy, hips, pelvis, functional things are working well. Thank you for doing these classes, and I'll see you next time.